Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about floor framing. So we're going to focus on this area of your model. These floor joists are representing 2x8s, which the nominal versus actual dimensions. So 2x8 is nominal. Actual dimensions would be 1.5 by 7.25. Now remember, once you get to the 8 and beyond, you're removing or subtracting 3/4 of an inch. So again, it'll be 1.5 inches by 7.25 inches. So we have our floor joists here. We also have our floor joist blocking here that's staggered. And then we have our 3/4 inch floor sheathing right here. So in our last video, we worked on the foundation. We created our footing, our foundation wall, and then we added our pressure treated Douglas fir sill plate that sat on the foundation wall. So in order for us to start working on the floor, we don't want to just start gluing onto the sill plate here. Because of gravity, it's better that we built on a surface. So if you print out or if you reference this document, which is available in Canvas, it's the framing. So you have all the dimensions you need of the various members. So we have our rim joist, which is helping to support our floor joists. So here are our floor joists and our rim joist is here along this edge. And then you'll see dimensions for the floor joist blocking. Remember that your floor joists are 16 inches on center. Because of the dimensions we're working with, we're going to start off with gluing our floor joists on the shorter wall, which is this 4-foot wall, and then we're going to go 16 inches on center. Because of this length, the very last one will be a little bit less than 16 inches, and that's fine for this project. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to tape down this reference sheet because it's already to scale. Our floor joists have already been cut to size. So as we know, this is our short wall here at 4 feet from edge to edge. This is our 8-foot wall here. So this is what we're looking at. So move this over to the side. Okay. So we need to make sure for the 4 feet here, we accommodate the thickness of the rim joist. So it being a 2x8, we're looking at 1.5 inches in that width. So from the 4 feet, we're going to subtract that 1.5, and we have 3 feet, 10.5 inches. So I already have the pieces pre-cut. So all those are here. I also have the rim joist, which is at 8 feet. So looking at total length, this is also representing our 2x8. So this is going to go here. And I'm going to go ahead and start gluing up the pieces. And then in between, we're going to do 2x8 blocking. And there's only one that's going to be a little bit shorter, just because due to the length of the model, the very last 2 floor joists aren't 16 inches on center. So I have that one marked with this piece of tape, so I know that it's different. All right, once we have your pieces all glued together for your floor joists, so we have our rim joists, our floor joists, and then our floor joist blocking, that's ready. It just needs to dry now. They've been cut, they've been glued, they're in place. Now to put on the 3/4 inch floor sheathing, we're going to be using 16th inch by 4 inch piece of balsa wood. So the nice thing about this, it's already 4 inches, which is representing 4 feet in our model. And that's what we need, right? Our width here is of 4 feet. So that's perfect. It sits perfectly. Now we want to just cut it at a diagonal so that we can see the framing underneath, but we don't want to go from corner to corner. Instead, because we're going to have our sill plate sit right on top, we want to be able to accommodate our 2x4s that are going to be there. So similar to this model, if you take a look at the floor itself and the floor sheathing, the sill sits right on top of that sheathing. So we want to give that width and then cut the diagonal. So this is a 2x4. And as we know, the actual dimension is 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So you want to give yourself 3.5 inches there at 1 inch equals a foot. So we're going to go ahead and measure 3.5 inches for here, 3.5 inches for here. The length of this piece is going to be 8 inches, representing 8 feet. So once we cut our piece, it's going to look like this, where we have the 4 feet here, right? So it's measuring 4 inches, but it's representing 4 feet. And then 3.5 inches here to accommodate our 2x4 sill that's going to be placed on top. 8 inches here, which is representing 8 feet. And then our 3.5 inches on this end to represent that sill plate that's going to sit there for our wall framing. Okay, so these are going to get adhered. So I can go ahead and add the glue and glue it. I just want to make sure, for example, the tape that I have here to hold it down, I'm going to have to remove that before I tape it, otherwise I won't be able to remove it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is let it dry for a little bit, and then we'll add the sheathing. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the sheathing on top, just let it sit there. And then I'm going to place markings on the inside so I know how far to put the glue. I'm not doing it right at the edge because then it's going to be harder to erase and get rid of. So I'm doing the markings on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this tape that I don't need at the moment. That was holding our rim joists in place. I'm going to go ahead and add glue to our floor. All right, looks like I have all the glue there. Now remember, the blocking must be staggered. The reason that we stagger the blocking is because if you aligned it all, you wouldn't be able to actually attach it, right? It would be really difficult to get in there and nail it. So we have it staggered so that you can nail the blocking in place. Just make sure I have enough glue. And then I can go ahead and put on the sheathing. So this is 16 inch thick, which is representing our 3/4 of an inch at 1 inch equals a foot. So I'm not pressing too hard yet. I want to make sure I line everything up. And once it's square, then I can add a little bit more pressure. I may even want to use some of the tools, the glue, anything with a little bit of weight. We'll go ahead and allow this to dry. And then once it's ready, we're going to go ahead and glue it onto our pressure treated Douglas fir sill that is sitting on the foundation. So next we're going to go ahead and remove these objects now that it's had some time to dry. Remove any tape that may be holding down your pieces. If it adheres to the trace paper, just carefully remove it. And now we're going to go ahead and glue the floor joists to our pressure treated Douglas fir sill plate sitting on the foundation wall. I'm going to align it. All right, there we are. So we're going to go ahead and put some objects here for a little bit of weight so it can dry, but then your floor will be complete.